Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time Sports. Martin Falls here with Stan Gravois, and we're talking about the Bayou Region Athletic Hall of Fame. The next person we're going to talk about, Stan, we grew up with Troy. We covered Troy. Troy did some Game of the Weeks with us.
That's right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and we just had some great conversations with Troy, and we always would tease Troy, who's faster, you or Clarence Verdun? And that always made for great conversation. Now, if you talk to Troy, he was faster. If you talk to Clarence, he was faster. So maybe now, even in their age they are now, we need a little runoff here.
The one thing I'll say about those two individuals who graduated high school the same year, they might have been the same in speed, but they're different in personality. They're very different in personality.
Clarence, they call CNN.
Yes, Clarence will tell you how fast he is. Clarence and Troy graduated in 1980 from South Terrebonne. Troy's claim to fame was track and field. I mean, he played football, and he was good in football. But again, his claim to fame was track and field, where he was super fast. He went on to Southeastern first. A lot of people didn't realize he went on to SLU. Then he went on to Southern, and he was so fast. And I think Troy always had that sort of, knowing him personally, he always had that drive, because he lost his brother when he was, when Troy was a senior in high school, he lost his brother Melvin, who, by the way, is in this Hall of Fame, to just a horrific accident on the operating table. And I think it gave him that impetus to work really, really hard. He gets out of college, gets a try with the USFL, does extremely well, plays for the Denver Gold. They fold, meaning that league folded, and he gets a chance to play for the Cardinals. And for 2 years, he led the Cardinals in receiving yards. He was their deep threat, as you could see here in some of the highlights.
He was a burner.
He was a burner. He definitely was. Worked extremely hard. After that, was traded to the Steelers, had one really good year with the Steelers, and then went play for the Lions for a little while. He wrapped it up in the CFL, Canadian Football League. But I would say that his prime years, those years that he really shined, were with the Cardinals. And the one thing about Troy, I have to say this, I mentioned Elmi Savoy a little bit because she is our person who reaches out to these inductees. Troy is the only one she didn't reach out to. I kind of said, can I tell Troy? Just being selfish, because I know Troy.
Right.
And I told Troy, and he said, Stan, really? And you could tell he was very emotional.
Yep.
And I said, yes. And he said, Stan, I can't accept that. And I said, why is that? And he said, because there's so many others that need to be in this. I said, Troy, you were voted by your peers from around our area. They want your history preserved. I had to sort of talk him into it, and that's the kind of guy he is. He's humble.
Yeah, he is humble.
And listen, I love Clarence to death. Those two guys are friends of mine. I mean, I went to school with them at the same time, and certainly was not near the athlete that they were. But with Clarence is, yes, sir, let's go.
Right.
Yes, sir.
What time? Where's it at?
What time? Where's it at? I'll send you some footage of myself. Troy is a little bit different. Troy, again, just really reserved. Troy sort of started to live his life for his brother when his brother passed away tragically. It's the first brother combination we have going in. And, I thought when he was, voted in, I thought this is going to be our only brothers to go in. And I've been told many a time, no, it's not. And I can't give away who, but there are a lot
Several.
there are families in our area that are just athletic.
Troy, just from such a solid family, a very religious family, a community-minded family. But when I saw him in that Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, can you imagine what he thought when he put that uniform on and thought of Frank Lewis?
Oh, sure. Can you imagine? Yeah. And listen, that's an idol for him. If you ever talk to him, that's an idol. He even made the comment, he said, when I said that, I said, well, Troy, who deserves to go in this more than you? He says, well, I know there's a fellow, Art Cantrell, and I said, he's going in. He says, I'm going in with Art Cantrell? So it's that kind of thing.
Quick story about the Pittsburgh Steelers thing. When everybody was trying to get Terry Bradshaw, when we went for that championship game in Chicago, and Bradshaw's playing. If I take a picture with you, I got to take one with them, and they had a big crowd. And I said, can I get a picture? He said, I can't take one with you. I have to take you. He did his normal thing. I said, I know Frank Lewis.
Oh.
He goes, so I get over there. How you know Frank Lewis? I said, I'm from Houma, Louisiana. He goes, let's take a picture.
That's good.
So, I mean, that's the kind of, so can you imagine Troy putting that uniform on and thinking of Frank Lewis? And it gives me goosebumps thinking of what those older, Frank Lewis and another class that got honored, now Troy Johnson, who looked up to Frank Lewis. This is a big deal.
It absolutely is. I'll even go one little step further. Troy was born and raised in a community called Smith Ridge down in Chauvin. Yeah. Can you imagine all those kids who are still in Smith Ridge? Smith Ridge is not what it was. There's not the population that it was when Troy grew up there. But those kids growing up there looking at a Troy Johnson or a Melvin Johnson and going, wow.
Yep.
You know, wow.
Lead by example.
Lead by example. Just
and
a great guy.
that's what I'm saying, the solidness of that family. And the father and the mother and the mainstay, it all starts in the family. And that was very solid.
It's an old cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. Troy was great on the football field. He was a great track and field athlete, but he's so much more of a better person. He's just a great person.
And we enjoyed having him on Game of the Week.
Yep.
Way back when.
Still lives in Houma.
Yep.
Still lives right here in Houma.
No doubts. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we have one more to talk about. So if you're watching on social media, check them all out because they're all great individuals who are well-deserving. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.